Hi, and welcome to an episode of Meet the Makers. My name is Rebecca Hope, here from Block News in Los Angeles, and today we are being joined by Ivan Likov from the company Phonium. Ivan is the founder and head developer of Phonium, and it's great to have you here joining us from Toronto.
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's such a pleasure, and we're really excited to talk about Phonium and all that you're doing to make it a little bit easier for users to get involved in cryptocurrency. Now, we know it's can be a confusing world for some people. How do they trade with money? How do they buy tokens? But you seem to be making it really easy. And so let's start by talking about how your experience as a mobile app developer and in computer science led to creating Phonium.
Absolutely. I have been a mobile application developer since 2011. And in my mobile experience, I realized that users like applications that are simple and easy to use and always nice and clean. So with that said, I have specialized in mobile development from all the knowledge that I have taken on my computer science courses that I took in college. I started as a programmer for computers and Macs, but then shifted to mobile as I believe mobile would be the next big thing. And it already happened.
Yes. And so now you've created this way to make it a bit easier for people to essentially mine, right? You call it mining.
Yes, that is a great question, actually. The reason for the process to be called mining is because mining as its core, it actually is a computer verifying a transaction between two entities on a network. When that verification process is approved, there are new tokens that are minted with the finalization of the process. So when, let's say, I send you 10 Phonium tokens,
yes.
Another mobile device on the network would approve that transaction to make sure that I do indeed have the 10 tokens, and I then send them to you. And with that said, that computer verifying this transaction would also be rewarded with a fraction of a new token created right at the spot. So that's technically what mining is.
Okay. So mining is just another way of saying that you are using tokens to make a transaction, but there is a verification process in the middle of that, which surprisingly actually only takes up to 4 seconds to happen. And so if I want to send money to a friend or whoever through tokens, through Phonium, your app, I can do so, and it's essentially called mining, where it goes through a little bit of a process through the blockchain to make sure that it's everything's okay, right?
That's correct. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about some use cases. Where have you seen this kind of thing being used?
Well, at its core, blockchain, it's really simple and easy. But all the different functions that build that blockchain and make it a reality is what makes it hard to accomplish. So with that said, Phonium is set to be a mobile platform that allows the creation of apps and games on a mobile blockchain structure with the use of Phonium being a currency on all those games and apps. We're seeing right now that a lot of developers are creating games and applications. They have their own currency in it. It's either coins, gems, cards, or name it. And it's all for that particular company. Well, with our platform, what developers will be able to do is to unite all their powers and their games to be under one umbrella with one unite currency. And not only that, but all their in-game assets, like in a battling game, a sword, or in a racing game, a car, all those assets will be able to be traded, sold, or transferred from one game to another. And all will happen with the use of Phonium tokens.
So what kinds of gaming companies have you partnered with so far?
We're currently speaking with a lot of gaming companies and presenting our project. Because it's in beta stages, we cannot disclose full release and which companies, but we also have seen a big interest in the esports industry, something that has developed in the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Tournaments are happening throughout the entire world and in different games. And to be able to participate in a network that all the tournaments, those gaming tournaments, can reward all the users and all the audience, that would be wonderful. So one of the biggest companies that represents esports is in conversations with us in order to establish partnership.
And why would they choose to partner with you? Why not choose another type of mobile application or another type of currency or way of mining?
Well, that is also a great question. The reason for them to choose us is because we do target a market where there is no other cryptocurrency that wants to accomplish it the way we do. We target a mobile-only market without computers, and we're seeing a huge increase in gaming on mobile devices. So to be the next big thing, companies have to act and bring the new and innovative solutions in order to achieve those new goals. And like I said, games are now wonderful and they do connect people, but the games themselves don't connect between each other. We can bridge that gap. And
okay,
make
now
it
I see you already have quite a few thousands of downloads all added together. You have roughly 60,000 downloads of the app on iOS and Android. So tell us more about what you've been seeing, how you acquired those downloads, and what kind of data you've been seeing or interaction.
So far, we are grateful to have all of our followers and all of our supporters, as this is a beta stage of the app, and all the tokens that are minted and mined through the process will be burnt. But we have established a great community and a great followers on the mobile ideology, mobile mining ideology. And with that said, we started an alpha stage in January, which collected and capped at 10,000 downloads the Android application. And then in February, we opened a secondary and kind of like a funnel parallel to the Android world for iOS to test the app. And in March, we merged them together and combined them into one network. And since then, we have been collecting users and actually opened it so anyone can now join and participate in that beta stage. There has never been an increase of battery use than the normal what the app uses, and there's never been an overheating moment for any of our users. Everyone loves the app and says that it's very nice and clean, something that I stand behind and I like myself as well. And of course, we have many more ideas for the app, but that's yet to come.
But I think coming back to the question of how did you acquire those users and what kind of data have you been seeing? What kind of interaction have you been seeing so far on the app?
Yes. Well, with the alpha stage and the Android version, first we have acquired it through our exposure on the web and through social media, where we've seen a huge increase in numbers. People have probably then taken it from there and distributed on word-of-mouth basis. But I would like to say that we have mined over 1.5 million tokens on the test networks, and with more than 30,000 miners at any given time in the app. Since then, we have reset the counter, and we're currently at about 13 or 14,000 miners in the app at this specific moment, and about 1 million tokens being mined again.
And what is interesting to you of what the activity that you've seen so far?
What I really like is that people do understand how mining works on mobile, or at least they understand why they need to press that start mining button once they open the app, not only to get tokens for their mining on devices, but also to increase the amount of network users and to strengthen it to make it more strong and more stable. And I do see quite a few transactions going on daily basis from users themselves through our Telegram channel, which always has a new user which would like to get some Phonium tokens on daily basis, which is really lovely.
Okay, let's talk about the actual token and the blockchain technology. And what are you hoping for the future? How is it designed at the moment? Or what is the current model of your architecture?
Absolutely. So currently the app is designed for Android and iOS with a unique algorithm that differentiates computers and ASIC miners from mobile devices. So if a device that is not from a mobile sort, for example, an emulator wants to join the network, would be excluded automatically. And with that said, we have already established a successful network that was our first goal. Now our next goal will be to complete our funding process in order to get all the development pieces and elements put together and release the application on the main network at the end of this year.
Okay, perfect. And so let's talk about your short-term goals. You've mentioned a little bit, but let's elaborate on that and your long-term goals.
Short-term goals, one of the number one goals is to not have an increase in battery or overheating on a device, something that Google and Apple are going against mobile applications that are doing that. So our number one priority is to keep users' devices safe. And so far we have done nothing but that. One of the major goals for us is to complete the beta stage and release the tokens upon successful ICO. And by the end of the year, we also would like to present the first game on mobile devices that uses the blockchain technology with ability to connect to other games and communicate with them through API calls.
Okay, and then long term, what are you hoping to see?
Long term, we are extremely excited to present our technology of mobile platform integration with big companies that are doing games on mobile and computers, and to have them join us and distribute the mobile mining solution, but not only that, the mobile blockchain gaming aspect, which will allow everyone to join under one umbrella, play games and actually switch from game to game without having to start over, start fresh. And if we can accomplish this by the end of 2019 or beginning of 2020, we will see a huge increase of blockchain being used for mobile games on a basis that are not just collectibles and turn-based, but interactive games that will allow us to immerse ourselves and make even profit from playing.
Mm-hmm. So now that we know a little bit more about how the application actually works and the partnerships that you already have lined up and how easy it is to use and how safe it is, let's start talking about your ICO and why you're running this and what you're hoping to accomplish.
We have put an ICO for everyone. First, one of the most important things in the cryptocurrency world is that market needs to accept an idea, an ideology before making their decision that this project will be successful or will not. And for that reason, we have self-funded our project to prove that mining is possible on mobile devices, but we do need the funds in order to complete the blockchain solution. It is an innovative solution that is built from the ground up to suit mobile devices. Therefore, the funds to create this structure are needed, as well as to create the one and only platform to integrate with gaming companies to release their games on their networks. Not only that, but we also have a long-term goal to present Phonium on the mobile gaming world to become a standard. And for that, we need to put a lot of development time on platforms and integration processes.
Okay.
As every gaming company does their own way of releasing their games and distributing them.
So then your funds for the ICO would mostly be allocated to development or marketing partnerships? What kinds of things?
Yes. Well, we actually have 70% of our development process and support would go, 70% of the funds will go towards that process. Our business development and marketing is the other bigger section, which is 20%, and then the rest 10% are equally distributed between accounting, legal, and miscellaneous. We know there's always unforeseen events.
Yeah. Well, that is quite a high amount being spent on development. Why is that?
Well, the reason, like I mentioned, a platform that needs to integrate with a lot of different companies would really need to be easy to use and as much integratable as possible. And with the gaming aspect being able to transfer from one to another, that is also something that needs to be very well thought. Not to mention that mining on mobile devices need to be perfectionized from any corner.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so tell us about your team. Who's all on the development team?
Our team is honestly my favorite people in the world. When I start with my development team, they're always understandful. And what I really like about everyone on the team is that they do believe in mobile mining, just like I do. And we have all collected different information and data in order to support this process. All of our team members are on the same page and always knowing what the next step is and how to proceed to overcome or accomplish any challenges that come along our way.
Okay, so walk us through some of the people on your team and also what advisors you've been having.
Yes, absolutely. Well, just like I would go by the way that they are on our website. With Gorav, Konstantin, and Drew, I can make sure that our strategy is always right. We're very well presented on the network. As my English is not perfect, we need a little bit of help on proofing that those thoughts that come out of my mind, as well as Konstantin, who always makes sure that our website is fully protected. Our social media is very well shown out there, and there's no we know a lot of people would have their own comments. Some of them would not be very nice, and we want to keep as clean the network as possible, as followers intend to not like when there's a little bit of hate on the network. We have our great designers, Veronica and Raj. They are doing a fabulous job of presenting the ideas through an image. And like I said, all of our developers, Ivo, Emil, and Christian, at the moment, are focusing on blockchain and mobile application development.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Our advisors, we have the honor to be together with Donald Zuraldo. Donald Zuraldo is one of the most successful winemakers in Canada, with a holder of the Order of Canada. He has built a lot of businesses from the ground up in the wine industry, not only, but also in the business world. So with that said, he has been directing us in any way possible to be successful in our creation of a business model. Mm-hmm. Warren Whitlock is always making sure to keep our social presence up to speed and to present our new ideas in the proper way. We have legal counsels and marketing officers that are helping us accomplish all the marketing goals that we have on board. Media is also a presence here.
Let's talk about the marketing for a second. Okay, yes. So is the main way of growth with Phonium, your mobile application, is it mainly with users, so acquiring more users, or will you require users naturally through partnerships?
It would be actually a combination of both. We do have users that we acquire on a daily basis, and we do need as many users as possible to keep the network consistent and safe. But through partnership, we will get our bigger contracts, which will come through platform integration with different companies. So it is a combination of both, yes.
That's good. Yeah, you kind of have to do that, right? Because nothing is a given. Nothing is guaranteed. So you want to maintain at least your own users as well.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So it looks like you are on the way to lots of growth and success. And perhaps lastly, we could just talk about where you see this going in the global market? Are you targeting one specific market to start, or are you do you have a different kind of marketing strategy?
To be honest, our marketing strategy consists of mobile mining and gaming aspect. Both of them together are probably the two industries that are growing the most, mining in the crypto world and gaming as an industry itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great, thank you so much. It's been fantastic talking with you more about Phonium, and I do agree with you. It has a great look to it. So that can often be the downfall of some of the ICOs, where just their look is not very appealing to the users. But this is very appealing, so very good job on that. And I'm very sure that you will have a lot of interest from partnerships and investors in the future. All the best with the development. I know it's still, it's a constant thing. So good luck with that. And thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you, Rebecca, for having me again, and hope to see you again.
Yes, we're talking to Ivan Likov from Phonium, the mobile application. You can go check it out online, phonium.io. My name is Rebecca Hope from Block News, and this is an episode of Meet the Makers.